Okay. You have probably seen the title and you're wondering, well, why is it that both games, they just can't coexist? And I actually want that. That is what I want. I want both Marvel Rivals and both Overwatch 2 to coexist. But do I think the Marvel Rivals will come out on top? That is what I'll be discussing today. So let's talk about Overwatch 2 a little bit. Quickly, competition is good. For these games, competition is really good. And personally, I don't think Overwatch 2 has really been on top of the game lately. I think the whole of Overwatch 2, they've been not doing too good with the game. I will say, most of you probably know that I am a 6v6 enjoyer. I don't like 5v5, but we can get more into that a little bit later. So I have some talking points here on my screen that I've wrote up that I want to talk about. And I just want to kind of talk about the cons of Overwatch 2. I'm not saying that any game is perfect. I'm not saying Marvel Rivals will be perfect. But I think the current state of Overwatch 2 is not in a great place. And Overwatch 2 is feeling very lackluster and lazy in a lot of aspects. Personally, I will remind you that I barely play Overwatch 2 anymore. It's just not the same, and it's not the game I fell in love with. It has changed too much for me to still like it as much as I did in Overwatch 1. But first off, the balances in Overwatch 2 are quite horrible. I think I like they're trying some new things and stuff, but so much of the balances that you're just wondering, what am I looking at? What is this? And it doesn't really make sense. You try it and it's good. You try it, sometimes it's bad. Yes, I do think that the balance team of Overwatch 2, it's like they're not playing their own game. Some of you might notice what I'm saying, because if you look at the patches, it's the last patch said like Morga wasn't doing too good, so we gave him something, and that's just... I want to say as well that we lost so much going from Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2. We were promised a lot of things, right? And this is the thing everyone will mention when we talk about Overwatch 2, or the transition, because we lost like end cards, the thing where you could vote, right? We lost loot boxes, which I know a lot of people say, well, that was a good thing that we lost that because it promoted gambling. Who cares, bro? I'm like, I really like the loot boxes because I paid for the game, of course, so I could. I was entitled, I guess, maybe entitled. I don't know if that's the right word, but I could get some free skins because I paid the full price. So I could get something for free now by grinding and playing and leveling up and all that. I got some cool things. We also lost Finding Group, and there was also some weekly rewards you could get. By playing matches. You'd play like 3 matches and then you'd get a loot box. You play 3 more, you get a loot box, and 3 more, and another loot box, and then I think that was it. And then of course we lost our progression. Now there is progression, character progression in Overwatch 2. But let's be honest, who cares about that? Like, honestly, who cares about that? It's just, I don't know, it's so pointless and feels meaningless and empty. It's not like, whoa, I finally leveled up my Ana ability here, shooting or whatever it is, really. Like, okay. And they don't really look that good, really, in my opinion. They I don't know, they're just kind of whatever. But I mean, we have it, people are excited for it, maybe happy about it, but I think it's kind of lackluster considering what we had. Well, we were promised some things going into Overwatch 2. And that was, of course, like, we can inspect our guns or like our weapon. We never got that. I think that got cancelled, of course. And then the famous reason, or like the reason everyone knows, everyone knows what we lost, and that was PvE. The reimagined PvE thing, it was with the insane gameplay, or whatever they promised that they could have done, but they wanted to focus more on the game side of it, the competitive side of it, I think. Quick play and like actually competitive PvP side. But I think they could have done it if they actually just took their time with it instead of trying to hurry. and they were more transparent. But I think it was the higher ups, or like they didn't really see any reason for it, so they scrapped it. But the whole decision of PvE and the whole drama around that was just so odd. I don't know. It was so all of that around PvE, cancellation of it, the removing skill trees. It was just all of it was so unprofessional and borderline embarrassing. Like it's just the whole reason you made Overwatch 2, the whole reason you didn't develop your first game, your first popular game, the reason you abandoned it is because you wanted to make a sequel. A sequel with a player versus environment type. That was the main reason you wanted to redefine something like that, right? So that means you had to sell it properly. And I feel like that meant you had to actually change something spectacular about the game. And that, of course, meant removing a tank. And we can see how that turned out. I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that genuinely like 5v5. But 6v6 was something else. The synergies, the combos, how you teamed with people, how you were communicating. It was just on point. It was so different. I do want to mention that I don't play tank in Overwatch 2. Like in Overwatch Classic, I've almost like genuinely played tank more than I have in the entirety of Overwatch 2. I don't think I actually have, but it kind of feels like it. Tanking in Overwatch 2 will always be horrible when there's just one tank, and I don't ever think they will ever be able to properly form a good bond with that, like balance-wise, because I don't know. I want to know your guys' aspect of it as well. Your thoughts. Do you play tank? I was a tank main in Overwatch 1. I played Reinhardt and Sigma, and then there was some other stuff here and there, right? I played when I wanted to. But Reinhardt and Sigma, that was mainly it, and it was so fun to play. I had another tank with me I could synergize with. He could take some of the CC. I didn't get chain CC'd. Well, you did get chain CC'd in Overwatch 1 because there was a lot of it. But the other tank could take some of that, relieve some of the pressure. And in Overwatch 2, you just can't. It's impossible. If I go on Overwatch 2 and I pick Ryan, I will be miserable. There's so much going on. There's so much you have to pay attention to. So many abilities. And then you have to be the center. You have to pick... Okay, we're going here now, you know? We're going to point. And you gotta protect the whole team. I'm not saying that the tank is actually protecting the team, because that's not actually what it is. But that would feel nice if it was. Like Reinhardt-esque, you know? Someone with an actual shield protecting the team, but that's not what tanks feel like nowadays. Well, they are supposed to just take pressure, right? And create space. That's a lot of it. But just, I don't know. I know the counter swapping as well, and I know there was counter swapping in Overwatch 2, and we will get to Marvel Rivals soon. I'm just going through some stuff. I know there was counter swapping in Overwatch 1, right? But you couldn't counter both tanks. Both tanks had such a different ability set from one another that you couldn't counter the one and also counter the other. You would only counter one, and then the other tank might counter the original counter, if that makes sense. That was why it was great. And I know we can talk about this now. I had it written down later, but now that we're here, I know people mentioned, well, the reason that there was a tank removed was because of goats. And I know it was actually because of queue times, right? That's the main reason. But they couldn't balance the game, right? There was goats. They couldn't properly balance it. There was too much. There was just too much defense and sustain with it. But here's my thing. If you think Orisa and Sigma, they were the main enemies, vigilantes for double shield. But then you make Overwatch 2, and you're thinking to yourself, well, Orisa, she's not ready for Overwatch 2. She has a shield, she sits back and shoots. She's not good for Overwatch 2. So you rework her. Why didn't you just rework her in Overwatch 1? She doesn't have a shield. You can't really run goats. You can't run goats with her. I mean, you can't run double shield with her. I've been saying goats. You can't run double shield with her. So why didn't you just rework her? For balance, I don't know. I don't know. It seems like there's so many things they could do, but they just didn't want to for that game. Instead, they really do it for the second one. But you don't have the issue there, so like, what? Again, it sucked that they didn't deliver any updates because they wanted to make a second one, and then not deliver on 80% of their things, and then bring in new monetization. Battle passes suck. Let me find something real quick. Here it is. This was a real I posted. Off, right? It's essentially 34 euros. Before it was 34 euros, which or 77. And right, one coin equals $1, I believe in it. So here it is. If you're paying full price for this, last price was 77, which by the way, real quick, that's a scam. You don't get 77. There's never been 77. It's always 34. But it's just like, ooh, this is cheap now. It was 177, but I don't believe there was ever 77. That's like a marketing technique. This is the price of almost Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty, which is way more. But if we say that it's 77 here, let me go back. I don't know if this is just me, but 55% off, right, is essentially 34 euros. Before it was 77, and you got a skin and all of this slobber goop, right? Like, who cares about this? I think maybe you got two skins here, right? How is this worth that? Sprays, player icons, some voice lines. How is this worth almost Call of Duty? Like, genuinely. Who's paying full price for this? If we're saying that it was 177, we're assuming that some people actually paid full price for it, but it was never actually full price. So I don't know. The way they market and price their skins are so like they're so money hungry. As long as they can get the money, then nothing else matters. They can just run the game like they kind of want to, and nothing really like needs attention. You can just kind of let's do that. As long as we get the money here, it just kind of feels like you're taking not advantage, but you're like just using your player base for money. And I get it. It's a free-to-play game. You need to pay. They need something, right, so the game can keep running. Of course, I know that, but it's just I don't know. And that also makes me say like the battle pass. Have you seen? I'm not gonna pull it up, but have you? What do you actually want from the battle pass? You want the mythic? It's not in the battle pass. You get the prisms, so it doesn't even count. Well, yeah, you want the prisms, and you'll get that if you pay. What do you actually want? No one cares about the voice lines. Like, maybe there's one voice line you want, but you don't get anything really. It's just goop. It's just goop. I'll say it's just goop. You'll want maybe 2 or 3 skins, and the rest like, I don't care. So, and they're usually at the later aspect of the battle pass, so I don't really buy it. Well, I do, but the next battle pass I gotta pay again. $10, and I know they do bring money back. What I mean is, I know you can get money back, 600 coins, I think. Why don't I get full price back? Why don't they do so I can get the next one back? I can buy it again. I've completed this one. I gotta buy the next one now. Okay. I know you can. Okay, why? Don't you give me 600 for free? That's fine. And then give me 400 or like 500 maybe when I pay for it. So then I can pay and play, complete it, buy the next one for the same that I completed for. That's my reward. And I still have like 200 extra maybe to buy some meals with. Every other game does it. I know, like, oh, it's just not that popular like Fortnite and stuff. Yeah, maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe there's a line in between that where that kind of yeah. But now we can talk about a little Marvel Rivals. I haven't spoken about that a lot, but I just wanted to bring some points of Overwatch. But you don't see your skin in Overwatch, and that like a skin in Marvel Rivals, 18 bucks. A skin in Overwatch 2 is 18 bucks, and you might say it's the same price, but you don't see your skin in Overwatch 2. You see a different aspect of the same gun, maybe blue and red or whatever. And you also get voice lines and shit. But in Marvel Rivals, you get the skin you can see, and it looks nice. I'll be honest, the skins look very cool. But you also get a MVP intro. They look awesome. Oh my, it's like a highlight intro, right? That is so sick. And I think you get a little bit more, but I'm not sure on that. Already there. That's better. And if you talk about the battle passes as well, this was released, revealed a few days ago. You can complete the battle passes whenever you want. Or from what I've understood at least. Let's say you buy the battle pass in Season 1 in Marvel Rivals. And then you don't complete it. You can still complete it in Season 2. And you can also buy, I would assume, Season 2's battle pass. So you can complete those two seasons at the same time. Even though maybe Season 1's is run out. But you can still complete it. I know in Overwatch 2, like you have 3-4 months to complete it or whatever, and then boom, that's it, it's gone. But in Marvel Rivals, you can complete it however long you want. It doesn't end. So that I like that. That's a good idea. And people might say like, well, it's the rush factor that gets people to play and buy the battle pass. No, I don't think so. I think the reason that people might want to buy the battle pass here now is because I can complete it whenever I want. But let's say I have a lot of work this month, these next few months. I don't have a lot of time to play. I'm not gonna buy the battle pass. I know I won't complete it. That might be a factor, you know. I can complete it, so I won't buy it. But I can buy it and complete it whenever I want. I think that's a good thing they've done there. Very good, very sick. And I do also think that you get it back. But that being said, though, I think Overwatch 2, it's just the characters as well. Having some really dog shit abilities and some broken characters. I don't know. Have you ever had any fun being one shot from just Widow sitting all the way at the back? They have Black Widow in Marvel Rivals, but she won't be able to one shot. That's really well done, really good. I think it leaves you with some HP. So that's a good thing at least. I really like that. But you have someone like Kiriko and just cleanse anything, TP away, and then she'll most likely just hit you in the head and you're dead, right? Morgan still feels himself for an eternity. That character design was so stupid for Morgan, who actually approved that. Okay, I can't believe someone genuinely approved that. Let's make a tank that can self-heal by shooting someone else. What? Yeah, so I think the character design. Why is she just looking at the wall? No, I think the characters. I think the characters in Overwatch 2 were poorly designed. It's because they have intended for 5v5. Where people like playing live hero, like genuinely. Isn't it boring to play and play against? I don't know, the ability to just someone can make a stupid play and you can save and pull him back. It seems kind of counterintuitive a little bit. I don't know, I've always hated that when I'm playing dive and just boom. And a lot of people say, well, it's a skill issue. It's just not fun though either. Regardless. It's not fun to play against. Yeah, it's not fun to play live hero thing either. But yeah, I don't think those characters belong in Overwatch 2. In Overwatch in general. But it might be because they made 5v5. That's the reason they added it. So if 6v6 did come back, I think it would save a lot of issues. It would save a lot of issues. I definitely think it wouldn't make it perfect, and the queue times would maybe be an issue. I don't know, but I think they've missed their chance a little bit. I was so excited to play the 6v6 test coming up. I don't really care for it that much anymore. I feel like they missed their chance making a good game. And we've said for so long now what they should try and do. And they're just slow with it. Patches. No, not patches, but like with ideas and stuff. You know, I know they're trying to make PvE modes, but it's not the game I fell in love with. That's probably a harsh critique, but I didn't ask for it to be transitioned. I didn't want Doomfist to be a tank. I was a Doom main, I'll say. I feel he was not good for the game. I don't want to get into that, but I miss playing Doom, DPS Doom. There were some ups and downs to him. But yeah. Will Marvel Rivals actually kill Overwatch 2? I don't think so. I played the beta. It was so much fun. It was like I was back. But better. I had such a blast when I played the Marvel Rivals beta. It was so much fun. And I'm excited. Tomorrow it releases. When I'm recording this, the game releases. And I'll be playing the hell out of that. I might play the 6v6 test. I probably will, but I'm not as excited. I'm not as excited for it as I was like 3 weeks ago. I was really excited for the 6v6 test, but I feel like they've kind of missed their chance with Overwatch 2. Overwatch is some big changes need to happen, and some bigger ups. They needed to assert something. Like, it's just not it though. I don't know. I played Classic, and I've not had so much fun in Overwatch in a while playing Classic. And I played Classic, I will say, and I could not go back to normal quick play or comp. It just was the difference. So crazy. There was no Suzu, there was no mega healing, no mega sustain. Things died, and it was broken as fuck. But if I could choose between two things, I would either rather have Classic starting from now, put some balances to it, and that I'd play that. I'd play the hell out of that and add some characters back with some reworks or whatever. Or I would, if I could right now, press the reset button and go back to double shield. Yeah, without having the nostalgia glasses on. Because that is how much I don't like Overwatch 2 right now. That says a lot. But no, I don't actually think Marvel Rivals will kill it. I think it will be a good coexistence. But in the end, Marvel Rivals, I think, will come out on top. If the devs just do it right. If they just listen. And we don't need a Marvel Rivals 2 in 3-4 years, right? Don't announce that. Yeah, it was a lot of just talking about Overwatch 2, what they did wrong, so maybe Marvel Rivals don't do that. So far, it's been looking great at what they're doing, and at the development, and some of the things I've been talking about. It looks really good, and it looks like they know what they're doing, and it's fun to play. I can only see them going up from here and getting popular with the game. Let me know if there's anything I missed. It was just sort of a quick video I wanted to make, just kind of talk and then not go too much in depth with it, but just I wanted to bring up some points. I wrote them down and I was talking about them, so hopefully you enjoyed that sort of video. And yeah, let me know if you want to see more like this. Yeah, enjoy Marvel Rivals. Also, you can enjoy both games, by the way. You don't have to pick one, as some people are saying. Like, you have to pick one. Overwatch 2 can thrive, and Marvel Rivals can thrive at the same time, right? It's like when you place a McDonald's next to a Burger King, and then at the end, both earn more money because of competition. Something like that. That's it.